I started growing milkweed plants a few years ago, hoping that monarch butterflies would be tempted to lay their eggs in my backyard.
This is the tiniest baby caterpillar I've ever noticed.
And I really wanted to watch their transformation, but even more than that, I knew that the pollinator population is in trouble, and if we don't intervene, our food chain is going to be in trouble. When I started out, I was lucky if I had a couple of monarch caterpillars trying to turn into butterflies at any given time. And one of the things I learned as I got invested and interested and started researching is that only about 10% of monarch butterflies make it from eggs to butterflies. So it's really significant when one of them makes it all the way to butterfly stage. Cut to a year ago when the shutdown was beginning and I had just gotten laid off. So I was home a lot and I was watching my garden, and miraculously I had this huge group of monarchs. I had like at least a dozen, and they were all growing really well and they were eating all of my milkweed, and I was having to go out and buy new milkweed plants every few days to keep everybody fed. And then they all started turning into their chrysalises, and because I was home and paying attention, I watched some of them pick their spots, and I knew where the chrysalises were so I could keep monitoring them. And so when the chrysalises started turning dark and I knew that they were going to emerge as butterflies, I was prepared, and it was really exciting to get to capture the various stages on video and in photographs, and it was just a really exciting time. But the surprising and most memorable part of it to me was I had one butterfly who their wings didn't dry properly. And when a butterfly emerges from their chrysalis, they need to first dangle from their feet and let their wings unfurl and let their wings dry. And if something goes wrong in that process, if they fall off their perch, their wings are never going to be usable, and they're going to die pretty quickly. And so I had one butterfly that happened to, and I thought about what to do, and I decided it was a moment that I was going to just let the circle of life take its course. And so I left the butterfly out in the grass, and I went back in my house, and the next day when I went outside, that little butterfly with the crumpled wings was still sitting there. And I knew in that moment that my mission was to try to give it as nice of a life as I could under the circumstances. And at the time I thought that meant maybe it would live a couple of days and I would just try to make it a nice life. So I found a big plastic bin that had Christmas costumes in it, so I took out the costumes and I put the butterfly in, and because it said Christmas across the bin, I named the butterfly Christmas. And it was a lot of trial and error to try to make it a nice terrarium and figure out what was best for traction for Christmas to walk around, and putting in twigs and plants and figuring out what Christmas liked to eat. It turns out that boiled banana with honey mixed in was Christmas's favorite dinner. And we would go outside every day and we would enjoy the sunshine and the breeze and the smells. And Christmas lived for 5 or 6 weeks, and it was amazing. And at a time when I felt tiny and helpless and the world felt scary and unpredictable, Christmas gave me a mission to take care of one tiny soul. And that is my love story with Christmas the butterfly.